Hey, what up everybody, I'm Cynical, and this is Dark Souls Remastered on PS4, and it's part 13. We're in Sin's Fortress, we're about halfway through. I just dropped down from above, I think. We're about, about halfway, and you go around, you get some treasure, and you end up dropping back at the beginning, so, not a big deal though, because now we can just run straight to the halfway point and continue through. And we're almost actually done. We might even be more than halfway with everything that I've done so far. So last video, what did we do? We just pretty much got all the treasure in here. We got the covetous gold serpent ring, which gives you more item discovery, which is good for like farming humanity later in the game. It's good for farming like the baldur side sword, and it's good for farming like titanite slabs and titanite chunks later in the game, and other resource materials. I thought this was funny. Look at this guy. It looks like he's alive up there. Looks like he's alive, but he's not. He's dead. Whenever you... It's funny, this game. First of all, the ragdoll physics. And second of all, how they reset when you like leave a certain area. Their bodies will like drop from the sky or something. Whenever you... Like, it doesn't load in the bodies unless you're in that area. I guess to save, whatever. Memory or whatever you want to say. I don't know the correct term. I'm not techie like that. But it'll only load in the bodies when you're in the area where the bodies are. So when you like walk around some corners sometimes, you'll see like a body fall from the sky. And that one must have got stuck when it fell from the sky. It's pretty fun. It was like a piñata. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the gold covetous serpent ring. You can put it on, and it helps you with your RNG for drops, like titanite slabs and chunks and humanity and baldur side swords and stuff like that. Because there are things in this game. I mean, it is an RPG where it's a random drop. So there's not a lot of that. I mean, it's kind of like a beneath the surface type. It's not like you're gonna find a mini boss and grind it until you get the item. It's not that kind of thing. But it's like these man serpents have a chance of dropping the man serpent sword, and nobody would probably go out of their way to farm it, but it could drop, you know. Then the baldur side sword, like 5% of the people that play the game want that sword, so they'll farm it. But then like slabs and humanity and chunks, people do farm that because you need it. Especially later on, humanity, if you're doing the Chaos Covenant, where you need a bunch of humanity to open up the shortcut to like almost the end of the game, and like a quest and everything. So there's reasons to use it. It's definitely a useful ring. What else did we get? We forwarded Siegmeyer's quest just by talking to him down there. So we're doing good on that. We're not doing good on the Solaire quest because he died during the Gaping Dragon fight. I probably just shouldn't have summoned him at the Gaping Dragon fight, and I would have had a better chance of continuing his quest. But since he died, I don't know how you're supposed to get through that with him, because that Gaping Dragon just goes ham on him. I guess you have to be the aggressor and make sure you have the aggro of the dragon and all that, but that's kind of hard with the way you're supposed to fight the dragon. You're supposed to fight it by avoiding it, getting behind it, and all that. So getting its attention would take a lot of playing it wrong. But I guess if you really want that quest line to progress, you would find a way. You would probably either homeward bone when it wasn't going your way, or just die on purpose, or you know, not let the battle end with him dead, which is what you would do. What else? We freed Big Hat Logan. He's the main sorcerer in the game. He's like the best sorcery vendor, best teacher, best, you know, everything for sorcery. Griggs back at Firelink is his student. And he looks pretty cool, I guess. The hat's a little bit goofy, but it's also a little bit cool. You know? It's kind of like, when people wear those, those ski masks with the holes, like, for the eyes and the mouth or whatever. Sometimes that looks cool, sometimes it looks goofy. Depends who's wearing it, really, and how they're wearing it. But that big hat, sometimes it looks goofy, sometimes it looks cool. It depends how you wear it. It's one of those type of things. Like, not everybody can pull that off. It seems more like a samurai type thing than a... You know, like the samurais would wear like the light shade on their head? The lamp shade, I mean. I don't know what those are called. Excuse me. But, lamp shade on their head. It kind of looks like that, except for a different kind of hat. My voice is being stupid today. Like always. So it's not a change. It's the same thing. Poisoning this guy just to help it along a little bit. So when I'm not getting shot in the face, he's also dying. But poison arrows are very helpful in this zone and the next zone. So make sure you grab them from the undead merchant lady in the aqueduct. In Undead Burg, please grab you some poison arrows and a bow and arrow. And I just noticed we're almost out of healing items. If that happens to you, you can use humanity as a healing item. Just make sure there's nobody around and you got a full like 5 seconds to pop it, because it takes longer than an Estus flask to go off. But if you do have humanity, you can always use those as a healing item, and it's a full heal. It just takes a while, and it's a more expensive one that you probably don't want to use all the time. But I would always have one in my bar as a backup, especially if you're low and you know you're low and you have a second to change your bar, like your belt. I'd put one on there, and it's an extra heal. I can't remember if there's something down here if you drop down, but I don't think so. I think it's just like a red herring. But here we go. We're heading into the end area of this level. There's a giant. That's the giant that's putting the boulder down on the mechanism. If you remember where we turn the mechanism to make the ball go in different hallways, that is the guy that is putting the ball down. So it's not just appearing from nowhere. This is the giant loading that ball onto that mechanism, and we're gonna poison him while we wait for something else. And the something else that we're waiting for is right there. Another giant, but this one, I can't quite reach him with my arrow. This one throws a big flaming ball of a boulder, a big flaming boulder. And when he throws it at you, it has an area effect, and it lights up like a whole platform. So you gotta watch out. This is kind of like the little trick of this area. The danger, the trap, if you will. See that fire? That lights up that whole platform like a big area of effect. So this is the gimmick. I think that's the word I was thinking of, the gimmick of this area. He's gonna be throwing these at you while you're not knowing where you're going. Like the first time you make it to this part, you're not gonna know where to go. And he's throwing these big flaming balls at you. You're not even gonna know where they're coming from, to be honest. First time you play this game and you get to this part, you're not gonna know where that fire's coming from. You're just gonna think it's blowing up, you know, lighting on fire every 5 seconds or something. You're not even gonna know it's coming from a giant throwing a boulder. So it's pretty dangerous the first time you come here, because you're not sure like what's up with it. You're not sure why is it doing this. Okay, I just need to make it past this square, and then you get to the next square and it does it too. And then you kind of notice it's boulders falling from the sky, and then you kind of notice which direction they're coming from, and then you kind of notice that it's everywhere you go almost, instead of just that one platform. And it's all while you're like running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to figure out where you're supposed to go. Because there's a bonfire up there. There's treacherous walkway. There's like 3 different ways to go. Like, it's kind of fear-inducing the first time you come here. At least anxiety. It's a lot of anxiety. Because a lot of the time you'll get here and you'll have no health left. I mean, look at me. I have no health left. I've got whatever humanity I got, and that's it. And that's like an extra, oops, I'm out of actual healing items, type healing item. It's not even a real healing item. So this is pretty, the way I usually deal with it is I just kill him with poison arrows. But you gotta know that you need those beforehand. You gotta know that it's him doing it. You gotta know where he is. You gotta know that you can hit him even if it doesn't register. You can still poison him with the arrows as long as you hit him with them. Even if it doesn't register damage, you gotta know all that. So, and I do know all that. And this guy is like, you can hit me through something? So can I. I can hit you through stuff too, buddy. I was like, I'm gonna cheese this guy. I'm gonna hit him through this wall. And he's like, I can do the same thing, bro. You're an idiot. So now we're almost dead, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can use a, I can use one of these humanities. So you can keep using them, it'll just add to your counter, and then if you die though, you lose it. You lose them. That's the danger of doing that. That's the downside to doing that. Is you use them, they're no longer hard, they're no longer safe in your inventory. Now you're putting them up for grabs, really. And if you're online, if you're online, it like makes people more likely to invade you as well. So watch out if you're online. I haven't been talking very much about being online in this game, but people can invade you almost anywhere in this game. They invade you, all of a sudden there's like a dude running at you trying to kill you while you're in the middle of shooting arrows at a giant. Like all of a sudden this dude knocks you off the edge and you're dead. It'll give you a warning. It's not that crazy, but once it gives you the warning, sometimes the guy doesn't come for 20 minutes and you forget about it, and then all of a sudden he's there. So you want to, I'd recommend the first time you play this game, maybe don't play it online. Well, I don't know. It's a hard decision. I would recommend playing online, because online sounds really awesome. I've never done it, because it's never lined up for me to be able to do it. Like, the first time I played this game, it was on the Xbox 360, so I didn't have, like, internet on that. It was a long time ago, like, a year after the game came out or something. And, or who knows? I can't remember. I don't want to say stuff that's not true, because I don't remember exactly when this came out and everything, and when I got it and when I started playing it. But it was definitely on the Xbox 360, and it was definitely like 10 years ago or something. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong, but it was a while ago, at least 5+ years ago. And didn't have internet on that system, so I couldn't get invaded. But I've played like Dark Souls, I think 3 and Bloodborne on the internet. But maybe 2 also, but never the first one. So I know what invading is like, but I don't know what it's like in this game. Like, it's the same thing. It's not, I do know what it's like, but I've just never experienced it. But yeah, they'll say Ooby Dooby Doo has invaded you, you know? It'll give you like a red text at the bottom of the screen saying like, Ding Dong Fred has invaded you, or Chronic 420 or whatever, 69. Chronic 42069 has invaded you, and then you gotta like either go after him and find him and get him out of there, or go towards the end of the level and try to make it to the boss. Because if you make it to the boss and you go through that boss fog, then they gotta go back home. They're no longer allowed to go after you. So it's like a race to the boss fog, or a duel. Like, you either gotta fight the guy or you gotta get to the boss fog, because they're coming after you. They're coming after you to kill you, and you gotta decide, are you gonna go backwards and try to find them? Because they'll go, when they appear, they'll be backwards somewhere in the level. Like, if I got invaded right now, the dude would probably be at the beginning of the level, then he would, you know, start running towards me. And the enemies don't attack him, and I don't even know if the environment can hurt him. I think it can. But he'll start slowly making his way towards you, and if you just lollygag and don't go towards the end of the level, or you're stuck or something, then he's going to end up catching up to you. Or you can decide to, okay, I'm not going to make it to the end of this level before this guy catches me, so I might as well hide somewhere, jump out on him. And sometimes they'll get in front of you somehow because they know like a shortcut. Then they'll hide in front of you, and then they'll jump out on you. So it's pretty fun. At least what I've experienced of it, which is mostly Dark Souls 3, I think. Early Dark Souls 3. I got Dark Souls 3 when it came out. Like I reserved it and got it like a day early and all that. Got the keychain and all that. I think that was 3. It was either 3 or 2. I think 3 though. But yeah, getting invaded, it's up to you. Like, it's a really unique experience that I would recommend for your first playthrough, but it's gonna make the game even harder. But you don't have to, like, if you feel like, hey, on this level I don't want to be invaded and all that, I still want it to happen, I just don't want it to happen here because I'm having a little trouble. All you have to do is not be human. Just don't be human. You'll die. You'll die, you'll be undead, you'll be hollow or whatever, and then you can't get invaded. So if it's like it if you start dying, it kind of gives you an out by making it so you can't get invaded. And this little guy in this doorway over here, like, I'm kind of looking at the giant, paying attention to the giant. And this little jerk in the doorway up there is shooting crossbows at me. And he almost gets me. He almost kills me. A couple times, actually. It's crazy. He was more dangerous than the giant throwing fireballs. Because he's so far away that he can fire off an arrow before I can get mine to him. But he lost that duel there. But now I'm almost dead. He almost got me. But this guy's taking forever to kill. But it kind of now we figured out that poison does not last forever. As you can see, he's not poisoned anymore. So we have to re-poison him. So if an enemy has enough health, they can outlast poison. And I think these giants need to be poisoned like 3 times. At least 2. 2 guaranteed, but maybe 3 times. Now I'm just sick of this guy. I'm gonna start shooting normal arrows and have him poisoned. If you want to do some massive damage, that's a good thing to do. Poison them and then shoot different kind of arrow at them. Don't waste your poison arrows. Because really with poison arrows, you only want to shoot them until the thing is poisoned. You don't want to like continue shooting them after they're poisoned because you're just wasting them. You want to switch to something else. The application of the poison is all you want out of the poison arrows. You don't want any. You don't care about the other damage that it does. All you care about is the application of the poison. Then you switch to something cheaper that you don't care if you run out of like wood arrows that are like 10 souls each or whatever. You don't want to waste your poison arrows on anything except for the application of the poison. And right here's the bonfire. You have to jump off the side. And that's hard to find, believe me, when you're getting that fire thrown at you, that big rock of fire thrown at you over and over and over, and it's your first time here and you don't know where you're going, and maybe you got an invader after you. Well, if you have an invader after you, you can't even sit at a bonfire, so I guess that wouldn't be a good example. But yeah, first time you get here and you're almost out of Estus and you're looking for that bonfire because you know it's somewhere around here because the only one you've seen was way back by Andre. Like, that's the last time we saw a bonfire. Way back by Andre. So you know there's got to be one in here somewhere, like in this level. And you're like, man, I got to be towards the end of this area, this dungeon. Where is the bonfire? There's no bonfires in here? And you got to drop off the side of a freaking ledge to find it. So, and it's right in a treacherous area with the confusing area effect fire raining down every 4 seconds, you know? Most people run up here, and then they see that charred body, and they're like, crap. I hope that's not my fate. But you can mess around with rings. There's lots of rings that do lots of different things in this game. So I had the flame stone plate ring on. You saw me go down and get that. That's another thing you can do to help out with that trap. Go down and get that ring, because it's the only other way you can go that's not fire, is down the steps. Go to that chest, get that ring. Those baldur knights, sometimes people farm those for the baldur side sword, because it's close to a bonfire. But they're pretty tough. Make sure you don't die there, because usually you're not going to have a lot of health when you get to this point, because it's right next to the bonfire, and people are just like crawling towards it to try to make it to it. And those baldur knights can kill you. They can parry, they can hop around. They're hard to parry, like, on the other hand, because they have this like weird delay, or they'll either attack like super fast, or they'll have a weird delay, so it's hard to get their parry timing down. So you gotta be careful. You're gonna either get hit by the fire or killed by the baldur knights right when you don't want to be. Right when you're like, I don't have any Estus left, I only got half a bar of health. There's not very much over here, but figured I would go over here anyway. And this might be a little bit of a shorter episode, which is probably a good thing. I'm kind of worried about how long, like, just Bloodborne screwed me up, and all the other ones. All the other playthroughs kind of screwed me up, especially Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, because they both took forever. I did like one episode a month, just because it wasn't getting views, and like I was trying to get the channel going and everything, but I was still doing a playthrough. I didn't want to stop the playthrough, because I've never done that except for on like random games that I played one time maybe, but on Dark Souls games, never stopped a playthrough, I don't think. Pretty sure, did I finish that Champions Covenant run on Dark Souls 2? I'm gonna just look into that, because that was pretty cool, but I was doing it weird. I was like just showing the bosses instead of showing the complete playthrough. So I don't know if I stopped doing that one or not, but I've done plenty of Dark Souls 2 playthroughs. A rapier with intricate decorations, chosen weapon of the infamous undead Prince Ricard. Ricard's exploits are told in a monomyth. He was born into royalty, but wandered the lands in fateful, ill-conceived journey. He became undead and disappeared up north. I almost forgot to read that. I need to pay more attention, huh? I've just been getting off on tangents. Ricard's rapier. I used this for a playthrough one time, a long time ago. And I used it on my, I think, one of my Dark Souls first. I don't know why, I fell in love with that weapon. The reason I did was because it has a really fast R2 attack, where it jabs, it like thrusts like 4 times in succession, like really fast. It's like a special move, kind of like the Drake Sword has a special move. That weapon also has a special move. It does a like a 4-hit combo, like 4 stabs in a row, really fast. Holy water from Goddess Guinevere fully restores HP and undo irregularities. The goddess of sunlight, Guinevere, daughter of the great lord of sunlight, Gwyn, is cherished by all as the symbol of bounty and fertility. Divine blessing. This is another full heal, kind of like your humanity, and it's about the same. You know, it's slow, and it's good for when you're like in between fights and have all the time in the world, and maybe don't want to waste a quick Estus. That might be a smart practice to get into, is like whenever you're safe and low on health, to use humanity and divine blessings, and whenever you're in a fight and need a quick heal, to use Estus flasks. Like, I never got into that practice. I always use my Estus first, because humanity and divine blessings are more limited. They're full heals. Like, I don't like the idea of using them unless I really have to, because humanity is used for other things. Usually I'll end the game with divine blessings. Like, I don't even use them, but I forget if you can jump over there to where that giant is. I think you can. And there's like nothing over there, except for the hole you can drop down into to get back to that mechanism. I think so. I'm not 100%. I remember, like, being over there. I feel like, maybe. This guy has just been a pest. Like, worse than anything else. This whole entire time. Shot him in the face, but then he got knocked back, so now I can't hit him. But I don't know. I feel like I was talking about something and forgot to finish, but whatever. Probably about invading. But yeah. I would recommend just doing it. Let the invasions happen. Play online. I'm not doing it, so do what I say, not what I do. But it's because I don't have PS Plus right now. So I can't believe he can shoot this far. First of all, like, I have a longbow. This dude has a crossbow. Wouldn't you think that the longbow would outrange a crossbow? Come on now. Like, mine is called long. Long is in the freaking name. He doesn't have a long crossbow. Guaranteed it. There's not even a... Maybe he has a sniper crossbow, though. I'm an idiot. Maybe. But he's not even put... There he goes. I was gonna say he's not even putting it up to his face, but yeah, he is. Alright. Forget what I was saying. Maybe he has a sniper crossbow. Still, though, a freaking crossbow that can... Like, nobody's gonna be able to hit you with a crossbow from that far away. That's crazy. And some crossbow hunter in the comments would be like, yeah, huh? I did it yesterday from my tree stand. Got me a 5-point book.
What? What? Who are you? Another undead, eh? I took on Sun's fortress alone. But I'm no different from those vile creatures. I was driven by conceit. You think you're different? That you can handle it? Yes, I remember that feeling. For I was the same. So, let me help you out with your soul searching.
He's a pretty good vendor. He's called the Crestfallen Vendor. So, I don't know if he's related to the Crestfallen Warrior. I don't think so.
What to say? I'm finished. We're both on the brink, you see. End of story. You bloody fool.
I don't think they're related.
Give you a nibble of advice. Don't even consider visiting Anor Londo. Not in your state. For a century they've tried and failed. The Night King Rendell, Black Iron Tarkus, and even Logan himself. You won't stand a chance, you'll be eaten alive. But go along if you wish. If only to deepen your despair.
Just because you failed, bro.
I'll give you a nibble of advice. Don't even for the Night King. You won't stand, but...
People like that. People like that. Nobody wants to hear about how you failed, and that means I won't be able to succeed. Nobody wants to hear that. You think that you're automatically better than me, dude? What if I'm better than you, and that's why I succeed, huh? Maybe you should give me some tips and help me succeed instead of saying, don't even bother. I couldn't do it, so you can't do it. Yeah. These rings are pretty good. Boost lightning defense and boost magic defense. Thunder Stoneplate ring and Spell Stoneplate ring. And guess what we're gonna be facing? Remember the fire ring that we just got, and then there was a fire trap right after? Well, we got some lightning and magic rings here. Wonder what's gonna happen. And it's not immediately. It's in the next area. But we have a lightning boss and a magic boss in the next area. So good to buy those if you can. And large shards if you can. I think I'm going to blow all my souls on large shards and those rings. You set some good weapons too. The great axe.
Try and make something of yourself, but nothing will come of it, and I should know.
And the great sword. Both pretty good for strength builds. I've used them both. Which one do I like better? Probably the great sword. Because the great axe has less range. It's really powerful though, and you can get them stun locked. Using up these hard souls to buy some more large shards.
What is it? Still something you need, eh? Anything at all?
Whenever you get here, you're usually short on large shards. Like, this is the point of the game where you usually are short on them and you need them to reinforce your weapon, to upgrade it.
There you go, another brave soul. But soon you shall see. You and I are no different. Yes, you soon shall see the putrid fates we both share.
Yeah. Whatever you say, dude. I used to like that guy, but, I don't know. I don't really like him now. He used to have this, I don't know. His attitude used to, I used to like that, but now I don't. Yeah, so make sure you get large shards off that guy. If you need them. Like, I don't know, maybe you're doing some divine weapon where you might need the green shards off him. But just check his inventory, you might need what he has. Here's the cage key. Remember when we freed Logan last time? We had the master key, so we didn't need this key, but this is the one you would get if you don't have the master key. Which is crazy, because that's the best gift to pick in the beginning of the game. Key to the hanging cage in Sin's Fortress. If a hapless adventurer becomes fatigued during an imprudent attempt to overcome the fortress, the serpent men will not kill him, but lock him up in a lonely cage. Eventually, unless they have forgotten, they drag the victim off to who knows where. So that's what happened to Big Hat Logan. But yeah, in last part, that's what we did. We freed Logan. We advanced Siegmeyer's quest. We picked off all the loot in that death trap dungeon. Gold serpent ring, among other things. Now we're getting to the merchant, the bonfire, killing giants, making the level easier. There's no more fire trap, no more boulder trap. Well, actually the boulder trap's always there, because that giant respawns. Did you know that? This giant respawns, but the other one does not. So I think he also used to be worth more. You know how in the Forest Covenant, in the forest, I was trying to show you a soul farming technique, but they changed all the soul values of the guardians there in the forest. So now it's not as good as of a soul farming spot now. Same with that giant there. You can he's right next to a bonfire. He used to be worth more, like 2,000 to 3,000 at least. Now he's only worth 1,000. They probably changed that because people were farming him. You would just step out. There's bonfires like right there. You'd hit the bonfire, step out, shoot a couple poison arrows, shoot some feather arrows till he died. Get like 3,000 souls a pop. Probably 5,000, 6,000. It was probably more, but I'm just guessing low. Like the price is right. The price is wrong, Bob. And here's the Boulder Knights. I forgot to talk about them while we fought them the first time. Down here is where the flame stone plate ring is that we already got. Good for that trap up there to mitigate some of that damage from that fireball trap. But watch out, these guys have weird timing on their attacks. They can also parry you, and they do a lot of damage, as you see. They almost killed me a couple times in this part. Which I don't think I've died in the last 2 parts. Pretty good. At least 2. Yeah, 2. I didn't die in Sin's Fortress, and I didn't die in this one. But I did die to Sif while buffing my weapon like an idiot. So I was doing something stupid when I died in that one. But in the last 2 parts, I haven't died yet. I might keep track of that. Didn't die last time and didn't die this time. In both of them, though, I got very close. And in every part before that, I think I died. At least once or twice. It's Dark Souls, man. You're gonna die. That's why, I don't know. I did a no-death run, like, of this game. People, I don't know. I don't want to go on with that train of thought. Sorry. Let's not go on with that train of thought. Have good judgment. Don't say things you shouldn't say. Stop yourself before you go too far, brother. But yeah, I completed. That's his parry stance. So don't hit him while he's doing that unless you do a jumping attack. That's what happens a lot in PvP. In PvP, people will be like really good at parrying, and you know it, and you know they are. So you don't want to attack because you know you might get parried and get a critical hit. There's that giant. That is the front of the place. So you'll do jumping attacks on them and they can't parry you. That's the only attack you can't parry, is a jumping attack. That's where the boulder came down and Siegmeyer was sitting. This game is good about letting you see previous areas and areas ahead of you. It never like fogs up stuff, and everything is where it should be. That's why people love this game. So much thought of the world being interconnected and being able to see where you're going to go and where you have been, and everything connecting together and all that. Here is a shortcut back to the beginning of the level. Such a blessing. I almost died, but sent it back down without having to ride it, and that's a good thing. Our giant's still poisoned over there, by the way. Hopefully about to die. I think he only gives 1,000 souls, though. Here is that jerk. He would shoot you while you walk on this tiny walkway if you leave him alive. So watch out. I'm talking about the guy laying on the ground right here. Not him. But he's about to be laying on the ground as well. There he goes, taking a nap. And how much do we get? 1,000. I'm talking about this jerk right here. Shooting us in the face like 50 times while we're trying to look cool. Shooting me in the face while I'm trying to look cool, bro. Bruh. You ever hear that? Bruh. Sounds like a burp. You can see the boss from here. You can see the boss from here. Titanite chunk. That's the next level of upgrade material. Above large shards. It goes Titanite shard, and then a large shard, and then Titanite chunk, and then Titanite slab. You need like 10 Titanite shards, then you need like 10 chunks, and then you need like... No. You need 10 Titanite shards, then you need like 10 large shards, then you need like 10 chunks, and then you need 1 slab. Or something like this. I think it's slightly different amounts, but it's around that. It might be like 7 chunks and 9 large shards and 10 Titanite shards, you know. Let's take a peeky. Let's make sure he's decent. You decent? What you doing there? What are you doing, bro? What is that? Looks like he's I don't know. What's he doing? It's like he's eating a popsicle or something. Looks like he's eating a popsicle. Like a big popsicle. Alright, so easiest boss in the game. Just summon this guy. Trust me. Be human. Find this soul sign. This signature. Summon Iron Tarkus. Do it. Please do it. You're gonna beat this boss if you do it. I promise you. Just remember to be human. Remember to go over here. Don't go straight in the fog. There's a chunk up above the fog. There's an Iron Tarkus to the right of the fog. Don't go straight in the fog. Moving around. Alright, just let him do all the work. Don't do anything. Just like make him come over here. Like you have to run over here a little bit. Here he is. Alright, make sure he starts attacking. There he goes. Okay. Now he's gonna win. He wins this fight 99% of the time. Maybe 90. You know. Look at that. Boom. He's just got like the perfect weapon for this guy. Because this guy will stagger if you hit him in the leg. And with my little scythe, it would probably take like 7 hits. But with his huge sword, it takes like 2 or 3. So he's got like the perfect sword for this fight. Look at that. Look how much health he lost. He just destroyed him. He destroyed a boss. Got hit once. I did nothing. I didn't even hit the boss. 40,000 free souls. And now we're going to the next area. A very important area. Let's check it out. Oh no, are they gonna drop me? Am I dead? What's going on? Ooh, are they nice? What are they doing? Am I going to jail? Ooh, it's beautiful. One of the coolest areas in the game. Be cliche to say it's my favorite, but it's actually not. So, I'm not cliche. I like New Londo, I like the catacombs, but yeah, like, share, subscribe, because we're almost done here. I'm going to cut it here. It's just a good spot, and try a little bit shorter of a video this time, by 20 minutes. Cut it by 1/3. So, like, share, subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. We'll take on this city, this crazy, awesome place, and see you next time. Peace.